that covers zero trust security. You now understand architecture, verification, segmentation, monitoring, and automation. In the next video, we cover iDRAC Complete Guide. Dell's remote management explained in depth. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one. See you in the next video. The network perimeter is dead. This is the fundamental principle of zero trust security. For 50 years, security meant building walls. Trust everything inside the perimeter. Distrust everything outside. Today, this model is broken. Remote workers are everywhere. Cloud services are everywhere. The perimeter no longer exists. Zero trust security eliminates the perimeter entirely. Instead, every access request is verified. Users and devices are untrusted by default. They must prove who they are. Every request goes through the zero trust policy engine. The policy engine has 4 checks. First, identity verification using fingerprints or multi-factor authentication. Second, device posture check. Is the device patched? Is the antivirus running? Third, multi-factor authentication. Verify the user has possession of a second factor. Fourth, contextual policies. Check the user's location, the time, the access request itself. Only approved requests pass through. Denied requests are blocked immediately. Approved requests reach protected resources through micro-segmentation. Micro-segmentation isolates data servers from the network. Micro-segmentation isolates cloud storage from the network. Micro-segmentation isolates applications from the network. Each resource is protected. Each resource requires least privilege access. Each resource is accessed only over encrypted data flows. Identity and access management is the foundation of zero trust. Without strong identity verification, zero trust fails. The verification process has multiple layers. First, validate credentials and multi-factor authentication. The user provides a username and password. The system checks if these credentials are correct. The system sends a verification code to the user's phone. The user enters the verification code. Only then is the user verified. But verification does not stop there. Second, check device posture. Is the operating system up to date? Is the antivirus running? Is the firewall enabled? Is the device compliant with security policies? If any check fails, access is denied. Third, evaluate contextual policies. Where is the user logging in from? Is this a known location? What time is the user accessing the system? Is this a normal access time? What is the user trying to access? Does this access pattern match the user's normal behavior? All these factors are evaluated in real time. If the access looks suspicious, it is denied. If the access looks legitimate, it is approved. The user gains access only through least privilege access. Least privilege means the user gets only the permissions they need, not more, not less, just enough to do their job. This is how zero trust prevents unauthorized access. This is how zero trust prevents data breaches. Network segmentation divides the network into isolated zones. The old model had one trust zone. Get past the firewall and you could reach everything. Zero trust eliminates this. Instead, the network is divided into segments. Segment A is the public zone. Segment B is the application zone. Segment A is the data zone. Each segment is isolated. Communication between segments is restricted. Firewall rules enforce this isolation. Rule 1. Deny all traffic from public to data. This prevents direct access to sensitive data. Rule 2. Allow port 80 from public to application. This allows web traffic only. Rule 3. Deny lateral movement from application A to application B. This prevents attackers from spreading sideways. Workload isolation adds another layer. Each workload is isolated from the others. If one workload is compromised, the others are safe. Lateral movement is blocked automatically. The firewall sees the unauthorized traffic and blocks it. The attacker cannot escape the compromised workload. Micro-segmentation is expensive. It requires careful planning and configuration, but the security benefit is enormous. Breaches are contained, damage is minimized, recovery time is shortened. Zero trust requires continuous monitoring. Monitoring never stops. Every connection is logged. Every access request is recorded. Every device behavior is analyzed. The monitoring dashboard shows real-time device posture. Compliant devices are shown in green. 85% of devices are compliant. 12% need updates. 3% are non-compliant and blocked. The dashboard shows user behavior analytics. Normal behavior is shown as a baseline. Anomalous behavior is shown as a spike. Unusual login times trigger alerts. Unusual geographic locations trigger alerts. Unusual access patterns trigger alerts. Machine learning algorithms correlate threats. Geographic anomalies are detected. Behavior anomalies are detected. Artificial intelligence correlates these signals. Threat alerts are generated automatically. Critical threats are marked red. High priority threats are marked orange. Medium priority threats are marked yellow. Each alert has an ID, a type, and a source. Alert ID 03 is lateral movement from endpoint A. Alert ID 04 is brute force attack from VPN A. The overall security posture is shown at the bottom. Current posture is highly resilient at 78%. This means the organization is prepared for attacks. Incident response time is fast. Attack damage is minimized. Cloud infrastructure is vulnerable by default. APIs are exposed. Databases are networked. Services communicate over the internet. Zero trust principles apply here too. Users and external applications are untrusted. They must authenticate through a zero trust API gateway. The API gateway is the authentication checkpoint. It checks user and service identity. It validates tokens using JWT or OAuth. It checks contextual policies. Only approved requests pass through. Unapproved requests are blocked. The API gateway enforces rate limiting. This prevents brute force attacks. This prevents denial of service attacks. Approved requests reach isolated workloads. Service-to-service verification is required. Each service has a certificate. Services verify each other's certificates using mutual TLS. Only trusted services can communicate. Unapproved service-to-service communication is blocked. Each service is isolated. Database isolation is enforced. Storage isolation is enforced. Application isolation is enforced. If one workload is compromised, others are safe. Lateral movement is blocked. The overall cloud security resilience is optimized at 92%. Kubernetes is cloud native. Kubernetes runs containers. Containers are isolated environments. But Kubernetes itself is a network. Pods communicate with each other. This communication must be secured. Pod. To-pod communication policies restrict traffic. Policies are defined using role-based access control. RBAC rules define which pods can talk to which other pods. Network policies define which ports are allowed. Allowed communication is shown in green. Blocked lateral movement is shown in red. Micro border paths define the routes traffic can take. If a pod is compromised, it cannot spread to other pods. Service mesh security adds another layer. Istio is a popular service mesh. It enforces mutual TLS encryption between microservices. Each service has a certificate. Services verify certificates with each other. Service mesh also does service validation. Each service checks the identity of incoming requests. Unapproved requests are denied. Container runtime verification monitors running containers. Image signature verification checks if container images are authentic. Runtime integrity monitoring detects if the container is modified. Vulnerability scanning checks for known vulnerabilities. Tetration monitors if containers behave normally. If abnormal behavior is detected, the container is terminated. Zero trust in Kubernetes means no pod is trusted by default. Every pod must earn access through verification. Every pod is monitored continuously. Despite your best efforts, breaches happen. A user clicks a malicious link. Malware is downloaded. The attacker gains access. Now what? Zero Trust Automation responds immediately. Compromised Device Isolation is triggered. EDR, which stands for Endpoint Detection and Response, detects the malware. XDR, which stands for Extended Detection and Response, detects the behavior. Automated quarantine is executed. The compromised device is isolated. Network access is revoked. All active sessions are terminated. The device is placed in a quarantine zone. Access is blocked in and out. The device cannot spread malware to other systems. Lateral movement prevention is enforced. The attacker cannot reach other systems. Network policies block unauthorized traffic. East-west traffic between systems is blocked. Policies enforce identity-based access control. Unapproved service-to-service flows are denied. The attacker cannot escalate privileges. The attacker cannot spread the breach. Automated threat containment responds to alerts. The threat correlation engine detects the breach. Orchestrated actions are triggered automatically. Firewalls block malicious IP addresses. Security policies are updated. Network policies are updated. Service accounts are disabled. The blast radius is minimized. Evidence is collected automatically. Incident logs are triggered. The organization responds within minutes, not hours, not days, minutes. The threat is contained. Zero trust is not something you implement overnight. It is a journey with 4 phases. Phase 1, discovery. Map your network. Identify all users and devices. Scan the network with visibility at 85%. Create an asset and user inventory. Understand your starting point. Identify untrusted devices and users in the initial state. Phase 2, assessment. Analyze security posture. Conduct vulnerability assessment. Identify risk analysis gaps. Document all findings. Phase 3, foundation building. Implement strong identity verification. Deploy multi-factor authentication. Achieve 100% MFA adoption. Establish network segmentation. Deploy firewalls between segments. Implement the Zero Trust Policy Engine. Enable role-based access control and micro-segmentation. Establish Zero Trust policies. Set access time limits to 100 milliseconds. Implement user entity behavior analytics. Enable continuous monitoring. Achieve full Zero Trust enforcement. Minimize blast radius impact. Phase 4, continuous optimization. Monitor and analyze continuously. Collect continuous feedback from systems. Refine policies based on data. Implement continuous feedback loops using artificial intelligence. Update security rules as threats evolve. Implement continuous monitoring using artificial intelligence. Measure access time to maintain 100 milliseconds. Zero trust is not a destination. It is a continuous process. Security threats evolve. Your zero trust strategy must evolve too. The organizations that succeed are those that commit to continuous improvement. Build secure, resilient networks that protect your business. That covers zero trust security. You now understand architecture, verification, segmentation, monitoring, and automation. In the next video, we cover IDRAC Complete Guide. Dell's remote management explained in depth. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one. See you in the next video.